Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. It's now time for your fire department update with your friend Mark Belekas. You right there. Mark, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
You look really festive. Like you're ready to get out into this hot weather and just deal.
It's summertime. I've got my sport cap on to keep the sun off my eyes.
I should have brought my cap in, my Talking Fitchburg cap that I don't have, but I'm going to work on that. Nevertheless, Mark, as it gets warm out, we've got some things today to talk about. We'll talk a little bit about BBQ, a little barbecue action, and making sure that the grill is ready and safe. I've got a good story for you. I'll tell you in a minute. We'll be talking a little bit about traveling as well. We're coming off Memorial Day weekend, which kind of to me is the kickoff to your summer time, but that means lots of travel, but also biking, pedestrians, motorcycle safety. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first, we're going to talk a little bit quickly on carbon monoxide alarms. And carbon monoxide detectors are an amazing thing. And even during the summertime, all the time, they're way important. But interesting enough, you got a fun little a good reminder here.
Yeah, so personal anecdote here. Last week, actually not last week, 2 weeks ago, I was out on my motorcycle and I got a call from my wife, who usually knows if I'm on the bike, I can't talk on the phone, right? But I pulled over to get gas. I saw that she called. And so I called her back. I says, hey, what's up? And she says, what does it mean when our carbon monoxide detector is going off? And I said, well, explain to me the beeps. She says, it's 4 beeps and a break, and then 4 beeps and a break. I said, that's an alarm. I said, if it's just like an intermittent beat, that's maybe telling you that the detector's it's at its end of life or the battery needs to be changed. I said, but 4 beeps in a row, that's an alarm. I said, so get the dogs, call 911 and get out of the house. So she did. Fire department came. I live in a different community. It was not Fitchburg Fire. They came. Just inside the door, they found a dangerous level of parts per million carbon monoxide. So upon further investigation, we learned that a bird had flown down the vent tube of our water heater, our gas-fired water heater, and passed away, assuming from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Poison.
But was large enough to occlude the vent, so all of that carbon monoxide was backing up into the house. And she says, well, I didn't smell it or didn't see any smoke or I didn't smell anything. I said, well, that's the thing about carbon monoxide is it's colorless, it's odorless. You don't know it's there unless you have a detector that's going to work for you. So in the truest sense possible, of all people, it was my carbon monoxide that really did its job and got us out of the house and got things fixed. And we're back in line now. We
don't really talk about we talk about some of the sources of where it's coming from and stuff, but, we really wouldn't, I'm thinking of all the segments where we've talked about it and we're like, we haven't really said a bird's, stuffed up your pipe essentially, out of a device that, we know we should be checking.
And seasonally speaking, this is usually a winter thing when you turn on your furnace or you turn on, you start using a fireplace or something like that, right? But it's important to have those detectors in the house all the time, especially if you have any kind of gas burning appliances in your home. Carbon monoxide is a natural byproduct from the pilot light or the fire that actually makes those things work. So it goes every time you turn on your shower, your hot water heater's running. There's carbon monoxide being produced. The idea is that it gets vented appropriately.
Well, and that fan could die too. So, take the bird scenario out of this. That fan, if you do have a fan, sometimes it's a straight pipe, but usually it's a fan out. Those die too. So interesting enough, though. Well, I'm glad that everybody's okay. And boy, that just wow.
Yeah, it was. I won't pretend differently. I talk about it all day long, so one would assume that it's never going to happen to me, or at least I would assume that.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you that I was wrong, and really glad that I had working carbon monoxide detectors in my home.
Final question for you: How often should we check our smoke detector, carbon monoxide alarms, or dual alarms if we have them?
Monthly.
What was that?
Monthly,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
once every month.
Are you sure about that?
I couldn't be more positive, and I can tell you that I'll be a hell of a lot more diligent about it myself.
I'm gonna be going home and checking that out tonight because that's definitely a big one. Well, thank you for sharing the story. I think hearing the real life stories too also puts that together. Kind of like it can happen to anybody.
It really can, and my wife and I have joked about it. Like, this is what I do for a living. I preach to people about this stuff, and it was our house, right? No one saw it coming.
You wouldn't.
There's just no way to know.
You wouldn't. Not without that alarm. Well, maybe a good segue here as we get into the barbecue season. We have gas grills. We have these things. They should be in open spaces because you don't want that byproduct getting in there. But as the grilling season, maybe kicked off, or we're ramping it up, or in my case, I started off with a grease fire to kick things off this year in the grill because I didn't check the old grease pan when firing it up. So as folks get ready for the grilling season, minus not doing what Jeremy did, what can we do to get prepared if we are firing up those grills?
Well, and not to pick on you, but to start with that, cleanliness is rule number one, right? Keep your cooking appliances as clean as possible. Beyond that, use the appliance or the grill no closer than 10 feet from the building, right? That way, if something goes sideways, it doesn't automatically spread. I think what a lot of people don't realize, but firefighters see all the time, is most of us have vinyl siding on our homes, and vinyl siding burns really fast and hot. It's literally just plastic. So it goes up fast. So the further away that grill is from the structure, the safer it is, right? 10 feet at a minimum. The other thing would be if you're using charcoal, leave it there until it's cool enough to where you would feel comfortable putting your hand in the charcoal, right? Nobody wants to get their hand dirty, I get that. But if it's one of those things where you go, "Ooh, I wouldn't put my hand in there, it might still be hot." Well, then it's too hot to throw in a garbage can, and it's too hot to bring inside your garage because it's still burning.
I just can imagine just like, nope. Nope, that's exactly how that would go down. And then if you are fortunate enough, for like me, and you have a fire that goes, what would you suggest folks do? In that moment.
Well, this is a fantastic opportunity for me to plug fire extinguishers. Have one nearby, right? Know how to use it. Be able to get at it. Most fire extinguishers sort of get buried in the back of the cabinet underneath the sink or wherever. But be able to get at that fire extinguisher, know how to use it, and use first, ask questions later. And if anybody wants to know how to use, a fire extinguisher, all they have to remember is pass. Pull the pin, aim the hose, squeeze the handles together, and sweep from side to side. So PASS. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep, and you're in business. You're rocking and rolling with a fire extinguisher.
I'd add that to a list of checking too, making sure that it isn't expired and it's in working condition. Because you can't really check. All you can do is check the date and hope for the best, right?
Yep, and you never know when you're going to need a fire extinguisher. So we literally 2 days ago had a car fire where a passerby used a fire extinguisher to extinguish a car fire that nobody knew was happening until the smoke started coming from the car. They broke the window, put the fire out, and kept it into a small fire so that when we got there, there was nothing but cleanup. But again, use of a fire extinguisher, have it ready, know how to use it, you're good to go.
All right. Well, we're ready for the grilling season. I'm taking notes here to start off really good season, but that's good enough. Finally, it is travel. It's warm out. Everybody's out. We've got a big biking community here in Fitchburg with lots of bike trails around. But bicyclists, motorcycles, pedestrians, they're all out there. So from your standpoint, you've seen some horrific accidents, unfortunately. But just a good reminder for folks to watch out for these. I don't know, bikes, motorcycles,
absolutely. So I used to be an avid bicyclist. I have evolved into an avid motorcyclist. So in either case, you've got to be heads up and aware. Wear your helmet. Okay, it really is that simple. I ride a Harley. Most people that ride Harleys think it's not cool to wear a helmet. I'm going to tell you that I'll wear a helmet every day of the week because I've seen what it looks like when people don't, right? If you're in a car, look for those other vehicles or pedestrians, right? They're not easily seen. Even a big bike like mine, trust me when I tell you that when I'm going down the Beltline, I make sure that I stay in people's mirrors so that they can see my lights, right? I could tell you a whole new story about the lights because I upgraded them just so I can be seen better, but we still need those drivers to look for each other. Last but not least, slow down a little bit. If you have to slow down to wait to pass a bicyclist or even a motorcycle or a pedestrian, that's okay. Your car will accelerate and you'll get going again and you probably won't be late. But to just barrel your way around them, you're putting yourself and other people in danger, and slowing down is really the easy answer.
Absolutely. Well, I think just taking the extra look during this, especially in busy roads and stuff, where, they can sneak up fast. Speaking for motorcycles, can sneak up really fast. But if you're not ready or not looking, you're could be in some potential trouble there.
Yep.
So,
and I'm going to add to that, just because it triggered me, following distance. Give everybody some space, whether it's the pickup truck in front of you or the motorcycle behind you or to your side. Just give everybody a little bit of space. You don't need to be right on their bumper. That alone would probably resolve most of our accidents.
Absolutely. Well, planning ahead, taking time, and everybody will get to where they're getting to, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, Mark, I appreciate the time as always, and stay safe out there. Enjoy the summer, and we look forward to having you back here real soon.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Have a great summer.
You as well.